Today's special guest is coming to us all the way from LA, and his name is Kendal Kirkland. So, Kendal Kirkland is a serial entrepreneur, a success coach, a health and fitness guru, a reality TV star. If you are familiar with Temptation Island season three, he's a model and he's also a credit repair expert. Oh, and an actor, and probably so much more that I forgot to even mention.
How's it going, everybody? Kendall Kirkland here. Just like she said, I'm sure you see my wild ride on Temptation Island. But one thing that people don't know about me is I'm a very serious person as well. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always about giving back to the culture, doing things that uplift people. And I've always dived into a bunch of different things. So I've used to be a personal trainer. I've had my real estate license before. I got my degree in public administration, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated from college. But through the course of life, I was able to establish lifestyle credit repair, which has been a great business for me. Establish a training business and do a lot of different things to really help mentor and coach other people.
So today we are going to focus on credit repair and his business, Lifestyle Credit Repair. So first off, tell the people why credit is important.
So credit is one of the most important things of your life because it's literally the lifeline and pulse of everything that you do. You don't really realize how important your credit is until you actually need it. The thing with credit is it basically tells lenders, banks, or whatever you're trying to obtain, whatever good or service, that you're responsible to obtain that good or service without actually having the money on hand. So if you ever want to finance a house or if you ever want to finance a car, you absolutely need your credit. Sometimes if you need a security clearance for your job, or you even just want to have a high position, they require you to have a great credit score. So credit literally is involved in almost every facet of what you do. People don't realize that because sometimes people don't work on their credit until they actually need their credit. One thing I always tell clients and my friends and family members is you should start working on your credit now so that your credit is in the 700s and 800s. So when you need it, you can actually utilize your credit.
So what can you tell about a person based on their credit score?
So if you have a terrible credit score, to me, as somebody who looks at thousands of credit reports, it tells me that there is some form of irresponsibility. That means that you made a decision to either get a good or service and you could not fully pay it back, or you had a life circumstance or you had someone die in your family, or you had something tragic that happened. Because I've seen so many different stories, I wouldn't want to label people with bad credit as you just simply don't know how to be responsible financially. It could also be because you haven't been informed on the importance of credit or how to actually utilize your credit. One thing that people always misconstrue when it comes to the credit space is that they don't need credit cards. People feel like, oh man, if I open up more credit cards, then my score is actually going to lower. But in reality, you can't even have a perfect 850 unless you have over 20 lines of credit opened up. It's how you actually manage your lines of credit and what you actually do when you get those lines of credit really shows if you're a responsible being or not based on how you use that money.
I'm so happy you brought up the awareness thing because there's always that assumption that if a person has a low credit score or a bad credit, that's because they're financially irresponsible, like you just said in the beginning. But at the same time, credit and financial literacy is not something that's taught in elementary school, middle school, which it should be to me. Such an important topic, which is why I invited you here today. And I am very excited to have this conversation. So let's get into your business.
Got you. Yeah. So Lifestyle Credit Repair, we've been around for about 3.5 years now. I started the business with one of my best friends, Sheldon Martin. He's another financial credit guru guy. And we really put our heads together because he was in the financial space and I was doing real estate at the time. And one thing I noticed was a lot of people, well, I would say minorities, could not purchase properties because their credit wasn't on point. So to even be able to buy a home, you can't even get pre-approved for a loan or do anything if your credit is out of whack. So we really spent a long time just discussing the project because I was looking at ways how can someone actually increase their credit score because there's not a lot of information out there. They don't teach you in school. They don't teach you in college. Your parents might not know about it. So how can a person actually learn about it? So we actually bought a course. We went through a few courses, went through a bunch of videos, a lot of trial and error. And after about 8 to 10 months, we found a groove and a strategy that was working consistently for our friends and family to start removing negative items. So what we do is we actually get rid of charge-off accounts and collection accounts. So a charge-off is a negative item that's sitting on a client's credit report that has been pretty much counted as bad debt from that company. So if you have a card with Capital One and it's been charged off, they're saying that debt that you owe, say you owe $2,500, is now charged off, which means that they're counting that $2,500 as bad debt, as in a loss to that company. And if an account is in collections, that means that that $2,500 has been sold to another entity, to a third party company. So they could be purchasing that same $2,500 account for, let's just say $500, $300, and they're making money by creating a settlement with you and having you pay that account. So one thing I always tell clients is to never pay collections because you never open up or signed an agreement with that company. So what we do is we save people from spending thousands of dollars on accounts that they shouldn't be paying. We save people from not being able to get an apartment or the home of their dreams, and we save people from paying people that they shouldn't be paying essentially. So what we do is we actually help clean their credit report fully and get people in a position to be able to obtain the cars, the homes, the apartments, or even just the credit cards that they desire. One other thing that we do is we also help coach people with their business credit. Business credit is a little more complex and it's more for I would say, our third tier clients because you can't even talk about business credit unless your personal credit is on point. Because in the beginning, you'll always have to personal guarantee everything that you do, which means that when you're applying for a loan through your business or your EIN number, you're going to have to personal guarantee that money with your social security number as well. So you can't even do that or qualify for anything on the business side unless your personal credit is intact. So what we do is we help clients get their personal credit on point and get them to the 7 and 800s so that they're in a position to now do whatever they want to do.
Okay, so I understand that it all starts with the personal credit. But a person like me, I already have good credit. I've been financially responsible since I was a teenager, right? I got the 800 credit score. Now I need some credit for my business. What type of services do you offer to help a person either establish or repair business credit?
Okay, yeah. So if you're an entrepreneur and you already have a 7 or 800, you have a great credit score. The first thing that you should do is first establish a business. If you don't know how to establish a business, there's a lot of great resources that you can use. Like you can use Inkfile to set up your business. They're super quick. That's what I always recommend to clients. But once you have your business, your EIN number, then you can start doing small accounts. So you need to start setting up net 30 and net 60 accounts. Those are specific accounts geared towards businesses. But you can't even set those accounts up first unless you understand some of the basics. So one thing that you should keep in mind with business is you have your Experian business score and you have your Equifax business score and you have your Dun and Bradstreet number. So you need to create your Dun and Bradstreet number once you do create your business and you set up your EIN. So before you do anything else, I would set up your entity and I'll get your Dun and Bradstreet number. And then you can start applying for lower tier business credit cards. You can start setting up net 30 accounts and get gas cards and do smaller based businesses. So it sounds weird to explain, but it's easy because we wrote everything down in a 100-page ebook, which we have on our website too, that breaks down the specifics of which accounts. One place I will say is great that you can go to is Bank of America. They give a lot of new businesses that's been in business less than even 6 months, a lot of business credit cards without anything up front or anything at all. Another good bank that I would recommend is FNBO. It's First National Bank of Omaha. It's a very small bank, but I've had clients who just started a business within the first 30 days get approved for over 15,000 in business credit. So that's another good thing that you can use to start out initially is start out with smaller tier credit cards and start out with some net 30 accounts and open up gas cards and other small things to start building your credit with Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax.
So who is your target customer?
So right now, our target customer is any and everybody. The reason why I say that is we might be able to find something that the customer might not see. So even if you are in the 700s, there's things that you can do to boost your score up. We even have a cheat sheet on what score you need to get some of the best credit cards. Like even me personally, I just got the American Express Platinum card. And with this card, there's so many benefits like going to the games, sitting in lounges, getting travel credits, TSA pre-check for free. And there's so many different things that you can do with your credit once you have great credit. So we can even advise you, even if you have good credit, on things that you can do with your credit as well. But our normal basic customer, our normal premier customer is a person who has charge off and collections on their credit report, which means that they've defaulted on paying for a good or service and it's now sitting on their credit report and they now need it removed. So if you're a person and you have negative items sitting there and you try disputing them through Credit Karma or you tried working on them, you're an ideal customer for us because we save you the headache of trying to deal with those negative accounts. We save you the headache of trying to figure it out because we get rid of those accounts from 30 business days to sometimes 4 to 6 months, depending on what type of charge off and how it's reported.
If you have a customer who wants to utilize your services, does that person have to give you their social security number?
No.
Like how much confidential information do they need to share with you? And the reason I ask is because we in a world of scamming, right?
It's funny that you asked that because every time we're doing consultations or some of our employees are doing consultations with people, they're like, man, I've been scammed before. You know, my family credit guy, I paid him $1,500 and nothing happened. And one thing that we tell them is if you already have bad credit, we can't do that with your bad credit either. if you can't get approved for nothing, we definitely ain't gonna get approved for nothing. So one thing that we do specifically is we have all of our messages encrypted, and we don't need clients' full social security number during the consultation. The only thing that we do need is the last four of the social. We use a platform called Identity IQ, and one of the first things that we have all of our clients do is actually monitor the credit. So one of the first mistakes that I notice is people look at their credit score through Smart Credit or Credit Karma, which are platforms that don't show you everything. So people think, yeah, I have a 750 because they're looking at Credit Karma. But then once we check on Identity IQ or My Score IQ, we'll actually look at their credit score, and it's a lot different than what they've seen on Credit Karma. So we do need some pertinent information like first name, last name, but we don't need their full social security number, anything like that for the initial consultation. Once they are a client of ours, then we do need all of their important information, like their proof of address, the proof of identity, and everything that verifies that they are who they say they are.
So you seem very knowledgeable, very confident talking about this. You told me that you went through some courses. You told me that you even wrote a book. But beyond all that stuff, how do you build trust with your potential clients?
Well, the easiest way that we built trust with our clients is by our client reviews and having them see other people that we work with. Another large base of our business has been referrals. So one thing that I always tell clients is if I do a good job with you, or our whole team does a great job with you, can you recommend us to your friends or family? I'm sure your friends or family need something to move up their credit as well. So that's another way our business has been growing month after month is we've been trying to take care of all of our customers. We have a 24-hour hotlines where customers can text us at any time. So we have clients that text us at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So we try to be as hands-on as possible. A lot of other credit repair companies, they'll start working with a client and then they go ghost. You don't hear from them from 3 to 4 months. So we have people that check in on us like every 2 weeks, like, hey, how's everything going? And we'll just communicate back like, hey, this is what's been removed. This is still in process. This is what's going on. So one way that we build trust up front is by showing them people that we work with and the great results that they've had. And then we just want the customer experience to be smooth, simple, and we don't make any guarantees that we can't keep. So we always under promise and over deliver. So if I'm personally looking at a client's credit report and I see negative accounts or I see things that's on there and I notice an account that might not come off because they either A started talking to that lender or either B it's a charge off that's over 40 or $50,000 and there's some other fishy stuff associated with that account, then I let them know exactly what's going on at the time, and our communication is just really clear cut and straight to the point.
So I looked at your website and it says that you have a three-step credit repair process. Can you briefly walk us through that?
Okay, yeah. So the first step with that is we do the initial consultation with every single client. So clients that come to our website, they set up the initial 15-minute call. So this is where we get to see if clients are serious about getting their credit repaired because people will say, hey, I need my credit fixed. I need our credit fixed. They'll message our business page, our Instagram, but then they don't actually set up the consultation. So the first step is setting up the consultation. After you set up the consultation and you speak with one of our representatives, then we actually decide if you're a good fit for us, and then we actually start the repair process. So that means securing everything from the client that we need in terms of proof of identification documents, proof of address, getting them registered with our portal and our system. So we send all of our clients an audit, and it breaks down where they're at versus where they will be once we get rid of the negative items. And then once the service starts, that's when we start moving into the second and third tier. And the third tier is where we actually start repairing the credit. We start disputing the items. We start filing reports. We start working and doing everything on behalf of the client. So it's a done for you service. Everything that we do is done for the client. I've heard of a lot of horror stories where we talk to clients in the initial phase and they said that companies just send them letters and they're like, yeah, send these out. This is how you do it. And they never really follow through. So what we do is a little different because we actually hold their hand every single step of the way, make sure that we have everything that we need in order to start the process, and then we get them going. Credit repair normally takes between 30 business days to anywhere from 5 to 6 months. But most clients, they're done in less than 60 business days. And a lot of recent clients as of lately have been less than 30 business days, depending on what you have in your credit report. So clients that have let's just say less than five negative items, you can expect to be done in less than 45 to 30 business days. If you have over 30 to 40 negative items sitting on your credit report, it can take up to 5 to 6 months, depending on who you are. One thing that we also introduced too is a monthly program. We had a lot of clients that couldn't pay for our full credit sweep. So we have a monthly option now that is a little slower, but it's a basic program for people who want to pay $79.99 per month instead of paying let's just say 450 up front or different things like that. So it's a little slower, but they still get the results that they're looking for.
Okay, so you just got into your pricing, which is exactly where I was going next. Could you please give me a price range about what this would cost?
What we have is we have our basic service, which is $79.99 per month, which anybody can sign up for. And then we have our credit sweep. So with the credit sweep, it really depends on what you have in your credit report and how it is reporting. So if you have less than 5 negative items, you could pay anywhere from $450 for the sweep. And if you have anywhere to, let's just say, 20 to 30 negative items, you can pay as much as 1,200 to 1,500. So it really just is dependent on the client and how many items they have, how it's reporting, what's there, and what processes we need to really put in place in order to remove these negative items. So that's why we do the consultation, because one thing I always tell people is as soon as we get on calls with people, they're like, okay, well, how much is it? How much is it? I'm like, well, when you take your car to the car shop, they can't tell you a price before they diagnose what's going on. So we need to look at your credit report and diagnose the problem, see what's actually there, and see what we can actually do to rectify the issue. Because there's some cases where people just have accounts that are late, but they haven't necessarily been charged off, or they're not in collections, and there's really nothing that needs to be removed. There actually just needs to be balances that's paid down, or there's just other little simple tidbits that they need. They might need to add a trade line to their account or so forth. So we just diagnose the problem first, and then we come up with a price that's actually affordable and makes sense for the client.
Do you happen to do anything with student loans? Sally Mae on my back. I'm sure she on other people's back. Do you do anything with student loans?
No, we actually remove student loans, but the thing about student loans is all of the student loans have to be charged off, and you have to consolidate your student loans. So student loans are tricky because let's just say you have 8 to 10 student loans and different line items on your credit report, and they're all defaulted, which means that you haven't paid any of these accounts. If you consolidate all your loans and you move them into one account, we now can get rid of those 8 to 9 negative accounts that was just sitting on your credit report. So if you have student loans and they've just been sitting there and you don't know what to do, it just depends on how they're reporting. If they're open accounts and you're actively paying on them, we can't just take those off of your credit. But if they've already been charged off and you defaulted on payments and you've already consolidated in some form or fashion, we can remove all of those other student loans off of your credit report.
So now let's get back into the money piece, right? So how do you
Let's do
make
it.
money from this?
Well, we obviously make monies from the fees associated with everything that we charge the clients. And we also make money with the ebooks that we sell as well. We also sell ebooks. It's kind of like our slower option, but it's a little different. So we have a DIY credit repair playbook that goes over how clients can remove items off of the credit, but it's more of a basic strategy of doing this. 49.99. It's super simple. That's another one of our income streams. And obviously, we get paid from the monthly recurring revenue of our clients that are paying us monthly. And then from the credit sweep program, we get paid from that as well. And then one thing that we're also going to launch this year is we want to do some more events, and we want to do something to give back to the community. So we're still putting some things in the work. We want to figure out how we can actually bring more value with what we are receiving, and how to really pour into other people with our services too, and just really grow and expand the brand. So our ebook is, you can go to my Instagram at King Kurt. You can click the link in my bio. That's one way to get there. Or you can go to lifestylecreditrepair.com and you can get routed to our ebooks there as well. So we have two separate pages for our ebooks, but if you go to lifestylecreditrepair.com, that is literally the hub and the nucleus of everything.
Another thought for you. I'm an author, right? So I have a book too. And my book is on Amazon. And I get a lot of sales from Amazon from people just searching the topic there, or from, plugging it on other platforms. But for people who want like a hard copy of your book, or just to get some additional eyes on your product, I definitely recommend publishing your book to Amazon too, because it's free. When you sell a book, Amazon takes their cut and then they pay you the balance. And then there's a sliding scale too. So you can set your own price for your book too. So definitely check
Nice.
out
I've seen
Amazon.
that. I've seen it. I might actually have to do that for us today, actually.
So, Ken, some people who are watching may want to get into your line of work. They may also want to become a credit repair guru. What type of trainings or certification did you go through? And do you recommend for them?
Perfect. Yeah. So we actually went through two courses. One of the courses is no longer available, but we're actually developing our own course right now that will literally walk you through the beginning process of setting up your agency, how to actually acquire clients, how to actually market to get your potential client, and how to actually do the repair process. So we're actually going to launch a course really, really soon, so that you can actually learn to set up your own credit repair agency. It's such a great business because people always need their credit repair. They'll always need something done. I think that's one of the smartest things that anybody can do, is learn how to either fix their own credit or set up their own agency.
What are some of your challenges related to being in this type of work?
people who are inconsistent. So the type of people that you do work with, although we don't like to categorize them, is they have shown a track record of either A, not paying for things in the past, or B, not following through. So it's a lot of high volume, it's a lot of selling, and it's a lot of really building that trust with people. So some of the impediments that we've seen in the beginning was the whole marketing piece. How do we get ourselves in front of people to where they trust who we are and they see us as an established business and they know that we can get the results for them? Because it's technically illegal to guarantee anything in the credit repair world. You can't say, "Hey, I can 100% guarantee I can remove this." Although we know that we can remove certain accounts, we legally cannot say that. So that's an impediment because everybody wants personal guarantees. So one thing that we've even used to refute that is we have a money back guarantee if nothing is removed from a client's credit report. But the good thing is we never have to utilize that because that's never happened where we worked on a client's credit and nothing comes off. Another thing that I would say would be some people who stop paying for their identity IQ or they stop paying for the monthly service out of nowhere. I don't know why someone would do that. Or people who change their passwords when it comes to checking on their credit report. So it's been 30 days and we can't even check back in and log in to see if there's been any updates because they changed things. And I'll really just say acquiring new content and new customers on a daily and weekly basis with different marketing strategies.
Okay, so what are some other behind the scenes things that you all have to deal with that the outside public may not see?
The follow up with clients. Clients are always contacting us like, "Hey, what's going on?" We have to explain to them that it is a process. People will mess up their credit for 10 years, 15 years, and expect their credit to be clean in 30 days. Although we do have a lot of success stories where clients' credit is clean in 30 days, sometimes people's expectations are insane and they expect it to be done in a week. Although we explain to them exactly how long it takes, and that's why we always underpromise and over deliver. And people who are waiting till the last minute to get their credit repaired. So we have some people who are trying to refinance their home or they're trying to get a loan or they're in a bind. So they need their credit clean in less than 2 weeks and they want us to do the impossible. Although we can get it started and we have had some people who can clean it in 2 weeks, they're just consistently pressing us to really rectify the issue really
I can definitely see that. Unrealistic
quick.
expectations and these people rushing you. Like you said, after you done messed your credit up for 10 years, 20 years. Now you want me to fix it in 10 days? It doesn't work like
Literally.
that. Okay, so let's talk about marketing. You briefly touched on marketing, but what is your best marketing tip?
So with this type of business, it's extremely hard. I wouldn't even lie to you. There's a lot of agencies that sell and give you leads for credit repair, but it's really hard because if you look on the ads manager with TikTok, you look on the ads manager with Facebook, there's a lot of gray area when it comes to credit repair. A lot of even outlets and media outlets don't like credit in general, and they don't like credit repair. So any type of ad that you put up that is misleading or makes promises that seem unrealistic, they will literally shadow ban your ad or they won't allow you to run it. So I'd say one of the best strategies that you can use initially is to do everything organic and to stay consistent. When we first started our business, we were posting 1 to 2 times a day on Instagram and we're just consistent and we're following up with everybody every single day. So I would do posts that's educational, that show people that you know what you're talking about. I would do posts that actually show the results that you're getting from doing the business. And I would do things that's creative and fun because realistically, credit is a boring topic. So we think of ways all the time. What can we do to make this fun? We've been putting funny reels up on our social media page, different things, acting things out, showing unrealistic things, just different ways to keep people engaged with credit because in essence, it's not the most sexy thing. So I'd say organic grassrooted user generated content would be a great strategy and then start shooting a campaign and optimizing through some form of ads with Facebook, but you have to be really particular on how you do that.
Which social media platform has converted you the most customers?
Facebook and Instagram for sure have been our bread and butter. We have a huge Facebook following too. A lot of people that like their Facebook page, a lot of comments on our sponsored posts and the ads that we run. And a lot of people have been setting up consultations. So one thing that we do that's a great strategy too is we're not asking for anything up front besides someone making the commitment to hop on the phone with us. So if you're willing to hop on the phone with us, like we're really particular because some agencies charge for the phone call. We don't charge for the phone call, but in the future we might because there's people that hop on the phone call and they're not serious. So then we vet those people out initially as well. So that's why our strategy has been working for us because we're giving first and I'm giving you value on the call. And I'm telling you things that you can do initially when you start with us before you even pay us to do any service at all.
So outside of providing a free consultation, what else sets your organization apart from others doing this work?
I would say the fact that we actually get results and that we actually have great communication with our clients. We take it serious. Like my business partner is a hard worker. I'm a hard worker. We're always looking at ways to make this better, even with introducing the client portal so people can actually see when things are in the disputing process and actually see when things are done. One thing that we didn't have when we first started is a way for clients to communicate and connect with us. So now we have a portal to where they can see everything that's going on and there's no strings attached and they can communicate with us and they can message us and they can see the things that's happening on their credit. Another thing that we do is we actually educate our clients. We send our clients a welcome packet that goes over positive accounts that you can add to your credit report. So it's one thing for us to get rid of the negative items, but we always tell people you need to build your credit too. So we actually have PDFs that we send our clients to actually educate them on things that they can do. And another thing that we're gonna roll out this year too is we want to do a YouTube channel just breaking down basic things for our clients that they can do in accounts and things that they can utilize right now while they're in the process. Like, hey, you're getting credit repaired. Here are some of the best things that you can do right now. So the education piece has been something that's really set us apart. People feel like they're connected with us because they don't just pay us and then we're gone ghost. Like we're actually here and we're present.
I love the education piece. People always are on YouTube trying to figure out how to do something or just getting that free information. So I definitely agree that that adds value to your brand to kind of give something away for free before you book a session or, get a client. When you talked about YouTube, it made me think about Instagram in just the sense that you have a huge following on Instagram. You have like 36,000 followers on Instagram. One, where did all these followers come from? And then two, does your Instagram following help attract customers to your credit repair business?
Okay, so I'm in a very different case because I've been in a variety of industries. So I'm a businessman in general. So a lot of my following came from putting training material up, like modeling gigs, selfies, obviously being on Temptation Island. And sometimes even when I just post straight business stuff, engagement goes down. Sometimes people just want to know about me, what's going on in my life, not even business stuff. When I post business stuff, they'd be like, what the heck? So our business page, the Lifestyle Credit Repair page, has also been really good for us because the social proof is there. We have only like 2,500 followers there, but they're actually loyal followers. So I always tell people it's great to build up a huge following, but learning how to convert your audience and knowing what they want is one thing too. But now my page has been getting a lot better with people just messaging me randomly, like, "Hey, Kendall, can you help me with this?" But I still send them to the business page because I want to like figure out how to work both audiences. But I put most of my credit stuff on the business page. But my normal audience, a lot of them segue over to the business page too. So it's been good. And I would say utilizing Reels right now has been really great just for getting eyes on our business.
All right, thank you for those tips. First off, I feel like it's annoying to do reels on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube because when I want to see short videos, I'm on TikTok, one social platform
Absolutely.
trying to keep up with the other one. I just want to tell the viewers that his Instagram is lit. It's just really good content, natural lighting, outdoor photos. He giving you scenery, vibes, outfits, cute little date night looking stuff. It is good content on both the pages. Could you share one tip with the viewers about what they can do to build credit?
I'll give you like a 1.5 tip. So first, you should be monitoring your credit so you actually know what's on your credit. You'd be amazed at how many people don't even know what's on their credit. But one of the biggest things that you can do right now, whether you have good credit, bad credit, or not, is you can add a trade line to your credit report. So an authorized user trade line, it's basically when you're added as an authorized user to someone else's credit card and you're now getting the benefits of that card. So say your friend or family member has a credit card that's 5 or 10 years old and they're using less than 15 to 20% utilization on that card. If they have a $10,000 credit card and you're now added to that credit card, you now are getting the benefits of that credit card on your report. So as soon as the closing date is over, that card reports on your credit report the same month. So say you're in a 720, 730s, and you're like, man, I need to purchase this house. I need to make something happen. I need a big credit boost. Add a trade line to your credit report and it can jump anywhere from 50 to 100 points. And one thing I forgot to mention, we offer authorized user trade lines too. So if you need a trade line, we also offer that as a service as well. But those are limited spots because we have a lot of partners that we work with, but it's a great way to boost your score.
So if a person wants to get into this, could this be a side hustle or does this need to be a full-time gig?
It could definitely be a great side business. I would even say the authorized user trade line business is even better. Like I just showed you the American Express Platinum card. You can get the American Express Gold card, which I have coming next week, and you can add up to 99 authorized users. So if you're charging somebody, let's just say $500 for an authorized user account, or let's just say 250, and then you add 100 people in the next 30 to 60 months, you're making a recurring revenue every single month. So that's another great business that you can use, is not only repairing people's credit, but you can also do a trade line business too. But you have to have good credit to be able to do it and know which cards and how to utilize which cards and what cards to add people to.
So now I want to switch things up and play a little game with you. So what is the craziest
Hey.
thing? Hey, right? What is the craziest thing you've ever done for money?
I was a model in a music video, but I had this one pool scene and I was in a pool and I was literally freezing cold where I didn't think I was gonna make it. And I was literally shivering. I felt like I was gonna get frostbite, and it was just a terrible shoot. It was a long day. And
But
this
you
was
made it
some
out of
years back.
there. You still
I
got all your
did. I
toes
sure
and
did.
fingers. If you had to come up with $10,000 in 48 hours, what would you do?
I would flip stuff. I would flip some of the items that I have in my house. I would check with friends and family. I would take a cut out of anything that's valuable, things that they don't realize there's value in it. And I flip things on eBay, Amazon, OfferUp, and I just make some quick sales. I hit some swap meets and I really just hustle. Or I would do like a stock play. I do like an option call, or I invest in some long term and pull some money out real quick too.
The next game is called For the Culture. So, what is your favorite TV show, movies, or series with a predominantly Black cast?
Power Book 2. And I'm not even really a TV person, so that show's kept me captivated from the first Power. I watched every single episode and also got into BMF too. I think 50 Cent has been amazing with the shows he's been putting out. He's been putting a lot of people of color on and giving them opportunities and really helping growing and creating stars.
I'm with it. I'm a fan of both. But BMS specifically, I'm from Michigan. So my hometown is Grand Rapids, Michigan. Detroit is like 2.5 hours away. So definitely felt
Oh,
that
that's
for the
crazy.
hometown. What is your favorite Black owned business?
I'll have to just do a shameless plug, but no, that's I was gonna say my business, Lifestyle Credit Repair. That'd be my favorite Black owned business, just because I know what we went through, I know the backstory, and I know how much work it is to get things off the ground and actually become profitable, and then staying consistent and bringing value.
You're not alone. Eugene was my very first interview and I asked him the same question. And he said, United Icons. What is your greatest accomplishment with Lifestyle Credit Repair?
Well, we had one client who was on the verge of losing her apartment, and her whole life was about to flip upside down. So she needed her credit done within a certain time span. We were able to fix her credit in less than 18 days. She was able to get a car within the same month, and she was able to get a new apartment. Obviously, we've had great accomplishments financially, but I would say one of the biggest ones have been how we've impacted our customers, and we've really changed their life. And I felt that they really appreciated what we did.
Yes, a success story that has real impact. What song or album instantly puts you in a good mood?
I would say lately I've been rocking with Blast a lot. Just been a vibe. I don't know if you ever heard of Blast. It's like on some California smooth flow. But another thing that I really like too is I like old school love songs. Like I like Luther Vandross, Brian McKnight. Like I'm very mature for my age, but I love throwing it back.
So just to kind of wrap up and close out the show, of course, I want to thank you for your time. I learned a lot. I know the viewers have learned a lot. So leave the viewers with an inspirational message.
I'm not going to give you some cliche like always believe in yourself, but I would say you should audit your energy and audit your time. One thing I learned in a season of entrepreneurship and growing is it's one thing to be a person who manages their time, but it's another thing to manage your focus. So once you start managing your focus, you can get to the next level, because when you're just focused on time, you can sit and do things that feel like time is just going super slow. But when you're super focused on a task, like your days fly by, your moments fly by, and because you're living in the moment. So when you're managing your focus, you'll execute more and you get more things done. So just think about what you have to do for the day and just really focus on focus management.
Great answer. We will definitely quote that and post that on Instagram.
Appreciate it.
That is it for now. I want to remind you all to hit that subscribe button to join the club.